Welcome back, everybody, to another episode on the HermitCraft server. Yes, we are here once again at our villager trading hall. This is the project that doesn't end. I think at the end of the last episode, I had mentioned that we're probably not going to be doing this again in another video, but it seems like a lot of people are really interested in the trading hall and the automation process and all of this stuff that we got going on here, so we'll probably be doing a little bit more today. Off camera, I have been working real hard getting a whole bunch of villagers out of our villager collection area here, putting them through our automation process, getting them zombified by our zombie, and curing them down below. I made a couple of changes here as well. One of the biggest changes is I added some glass right here. What I like doing is when we have the zombies in our Pez dispenser, I like allowing them to go down here, aggro the villager at the very end, and start walking, right? If I don't do that, we get multiple zombies here, and then one of them will aggro, push another one, and then we'll end up with like two of them in one of our little holding areas, and that's not good, because one of the zombie villagers will unzombify first, and then the other zombie will kill it again, and then we'll just end up with two zombie villagers in there not being cured anymore. Another thing I've done off camera since the last episode is I finally updated the timing system of our zombification process. So what would happen before is this timer was too short. A villager would come in, it would activate the string that's next to this observer. The observer sends a pulse over to this block, sends it down, and then when the string unactivates, it will pull the block back up and then this timer goes. Well, anyway, the timing that I had on the timer was too short previously, and yeah, sometimes the zombie takes a little bit of time to recognize that there's a villager in here kind of moving back and forth, or sometimes a zombie tries to attack but the villager moves out of the way since it's on a moving minecart, right? Well, either way, it seemed like we were losing about 2 out of 8 villagers when I put them through the entire process, curing them and uncuring them. Remember, we do this like 5 times. We lose like 2 out of 8 of the villagers, which is just awful. So not only are we losing the golden apples on them, but like the potential for like, you know, getting the trades that we want, etc., etc. Well, anyway, I ended up changing the timing here, like I said. I added in a couple more not observers, I'm sorry. What are these things called? Comparators? A couple more comparators here, just kind of change the circuit up a little bit. Now we have to have a little bit of redstone exposed. It's not a big deal, but it is a thing. But yeah, anyway, so this seems to work just fine, and the villagers stay in the zombie chamber a little bit longer than what I would like, but it almost 100% ensures that the zombie will always kill the villager. Another thing that we could do, I was kind of thinking about, I don't know if that's really something that we should do, we could take the villagers and drop them from a higher distance and let them take fall damage in the minecart. That way the zombie only has to hit them 1 time instead of the 2 times. It's another option. Or when we got a bunch of villagers queued up in here, I could throw a splash potion of poison. So we have a few different options. I think just extending out the timer so each villager is in with the zombie just ever so slightly longer was probably the better one. Well, aside from all these changes that I have made, I have gone through a whole bunch of villagers here. I have turned them into Fletchers, and I have started collecting them. So you can kind of see all the way down here, there's a lot of signs on the wall. So we've seen the slow fall more times than I care to admit. And something I didn't realize when we started this process is that you can get tier 1 and tier 2 potion arrows. I had no idea. So for instance, this guy right here is strength, right? Strength for 1 minute. You can also get strength 2, right? So we have strength 2 here for 11 seconds. It appears, I'm not entirely sure, but I think you can also get a potion effect with redstone, so it's like longer. So I think I've seen a strength 1, where am I at? Strength 1. I think I saw one for 30 seconds as well. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I feel like there's 2 different levels of each tier. Anyway, so we have slow fall, fire resistance, strength, swiftness, turtle, master. This one lasts only 5 seconds for slowness 4. I did get the higher tier one, which was slowness 6, and it lasted 2 seconds. but I thought that would be like ridiculous. Like, what would you do with that for 2 seconds? It doesn't make sense. So I got rid of that one. I just kept this one since it had the longer duration. We have slowness here, which is interesting, minus 15% speed. Invisibility, yeah, that's pretty cool for 1 minute. Strength 2, as we saw. We have poison here, poison for 11 seconds. I feel like we could probably get one with a higher duration, but that was the longest one that I saw. We have jump boost for a minute. Regeneration, that's kind of a cool one, but it's only 11 seconds. I think there was a regeneration 2 one that I got as well, and that was like for 2 seconds or something. Again, I didn't feel like it was worth keeping that since it was such a short duration, so I got rid of it. We have a night vision one, 22 seconds. Yeah, see, this is another one that I think that you could probably get that's 1 minute long, similar to the strength, but this one's only 22 seconds for some reason. I don't know why. Instant damage 2. This is an interesting one, right? So you shoot your arrow, and it does the splash damage, the magic splash damage of instant damage 2. I was looking on the wiki about that, and apparently it only does extra damage if like your arrow does less than 3 hearts or something. If it does more than 3 hearts, it doesn't really count. So I think these arrows would probably be best in like a dispenser or something, right? Where you can't charge a bow or it doesn't have power 5 on it or whatever, right? Anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting. Swiftness 2, yeah, so another speed. This one's a tier 2, it's got 11 seconds, which is, I think, the same as a swiftness 1 that gives you 20% speed for 22 seconds. So it's like double the speed for half the amount of time. I'm not sure which one of those you would want to use. Anyway, we have water breathing as well. So 1 minute of water breathing, instant health 2. I don't really know how this one works. I haven't tried that. Maybe it just completely negates damage of your arrows. I don't know. And weakness. This is the one that took me quite some time to get. It's 11 seconds of weakness. But yeah, we have that. So we could use the weakness arrows instead of using splash potions of weakness. I don't know if I could automate that in any particular way. I don't know why I have arrows on my bar there. Yeah, I'm not really sure if we could implement that in any particular way with our current setup. It might require us to redesign the whole thing. If we wanted to use those weakness arrows, I don't think putting a dispenser in each one of these and like shooting would have the effect that we want. Since we have zombies in a minecart, it would probably end up shooting or breaking the minecart. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Maybe if I want to do it by hand, just like shoot the zombie, like aim myself and then click him with the apple. I don't know if that would be better or not. So for now, I think we're just going to leave it alone as it is. But yeah, I do believe that is all the different potion arrows that you can get from these Fletchers. And my goodness, guys, this took quite some time. I saw on the Minecraft wiki for Java Edition that there is a potion arrow of luck. And I was getting pretty excited. It's like, oh, we could go try that out. But apparently you cannot get that from a Fletcher. That's like a creative mode only item or something. I was a little disappointed when I saw that, but oh well. Well, we have all these different potion arrows, which is kind of interesting. So a thing that I'm curious about, let's take a look here. If I buy some arrows off this guy, whoa, this is 3 sticks for an emerald. This guy might need to be fixed again. Anyway, let me go ahead and buy some arrows off this guy. And what do we got here? We got none of these guys with the stick trades. I'm sure we got plenty of them. Let's get some emeralds back real quick, get some XP back. This guy's 2 sticks. So these guys aren't perfect, but they should work. But the thing that I am curious about, if we get the fire resist, did I already pass it? I must have passed it. These are in no particular order. Strength, fire resistance, this one. So let's buy a few of these. Yeah, so this is what I want to know. If you shoot yourself with a fire resistant arrow, let's put these down here on the bar, with a bow with flame on it, what happens? Let's find out. So I get hit with that. It did basically no damage. I'm on fire, but I had the fire resistance, right? I gotta shoot just a little higher. Okay, so I guess with this, we could be kind of annoying and troll people. I mean, the flame effect doesn't last too long, but it does practically no damage. If I like charge this all the way up so we can get maximum distance, Let's see if we can hit ourselves with that. It did like a heart of damage, which really is nothing. Another thing I'm curious about is if I do that again and I do it with weakness on. Let's actually try that. I have some extra splash potions of weakness. If I do that with weakness on, does it even do any damage? All right, and we do this. And let's try and catch it again. Looks like it's over this way a bit and back. All right, still does about a heart of damage. All right, so weakness doesn't really have much effect on that at all. All right, so I guess we could like troll people with this, set them on fire, but with the fire resistance arrows. So they just have like the particle effects on their screen. That could be funny. So going through the list of different villagers that I want moving forward, it looks like we have two different types at this point that I definitely want. Mason villagers will be able to provide us with brick. So if we ever want to make a brick building, we can just get it for emeralds. They can also provide us with polished andesite, granite, or diorite, which is pretty cool. And they also have on the expert, I think, the ability to get us different types of terracotta. I'm not really sure if that's going to be super useful. We can always mine that, and I haven't really wanted to build anything out of terracotta yet. And the very last trade, you get 100% chance for quartz pillars and blocks of quartz, which is pretty nice. So since we only have two different villager types remaining, and we have a lot of empty space on this side, I think there was 12 on this side and 3 on this side. We could add in a whole bunch of different masons here to get a whole bunch of different types of these different blocks. So that would be pretty cool. That'd be something that we could fill up the rest of this side with. And then this side over here is specifically for our librarians, which we haven't touched yet. And that's something that we got to do. There's a lot of librarians, a lot of different book enchants that I want, and we haven't done anything with that just yet. But anyway, next step is I'm going to go ahead and queue up 12 villagers here, and we'll try using the weakness arrows on them instead of the splash potions and see how that goes. See if it's viable, something that I want to do, or if the splash potions are just that much easier. All right, so we got our 12 villagers here. There might actually be more than 12. I'm going to have to count. Generally what happens if I put more in here than 12, I'll take the extras and just run them over to our little machine over here and set it to dispose and just get rid of those extras. Since we can always generate more villagers than what we want, and I don't really want them out of sync having like too many villagers that are not cured or whatever. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys just a little slight change on the delay here. So let's put our first villager in. Oh, actually, did I set the thing? No, I didn't. Whoops. I need to flip this back. And then I need to push this villager back out of here. Gotta remove this block. And just push the villager back. It will bounce over into the zombie. Everything will be just fine. Put that back real quick. Alright, so the villager is just gonna go up to the start, bounce back, and go up here. Alright, so now, yeah, the villager has been zombified, and it just stays in there about 2 seconds longer than what it used to, I think. And then we just end up down here, as always. But let's go ahead and do a couple more, and then I want to see if it's a viable option for us to use the arrows when we have these guys stacked, or if I have to do them one at a time, since I don't really know how this is all gonna work. So there's 2. We'll just put in a total of 4 of these guys, like we have been, just getting that Pez dispenser up and running. And we'll get our 4th guy coming down. Alright, so I'm going to use an unenchanted bow, arrow of weakness. And then our 4th guy should end up here. You know what? I didn't grab any apples. Let me do that real quick too. Need to grab those golden apples. And right here. Alright. So now we have the apples so we can shoot them. Since it only lasts 11 seconds, the weakness, we got to do this kind of quick. Otherwise, we're just wasting weakness arrows, right? So let's try this. Yeah, see, I hit the minecart. That's not what I want. I hit that minecart. That's not what I want. Yeah, I just don't think in this particular configuration that the weakness arrows are gonna work, guys. We would have to, like, have them on an inclined rail, I think, or shoot them from above or whatever. If we do it this way, we're just gonna end up breaking minecarts, and then the whole system's not gonna work. So I'm just gonna continue curing these guys the way that I've always done it. Well, I'm not quite sure how this happened, but I ended up with a cured zombie in our tube here. Yeah, apparently it's aggro on me. So as long as it's looking at me, I don't think it's going to try to attack these villagers. But if I move now that it's focused on me, it might then start choosing a villager as its current target. So I think at the moment I'm kind of stuck here until this zombie villager turns again. Otherwise, this whole batch of zombie villagers, or this whole batch of villagers, will essentially be ruined, and I'll have to go through and re-cure them all. So I forgot I made one more change to this whole setup, and this is a rather small change, but it's for our breeder over here. So our 8 or 9 villagers that are making all the babies for the rest of our villagers, right? I toss them down bread and they share the bread with each other, but sometimes they throw it off the edge down there. That's where the babies drop down and they go along and over into our holding area over here, right? So I did make a change at the very bottom of that drop chute. I did add in some hoppers down here, and I have like 6 of them. I think they're just pointing into this chest. It's not really a big deal, but if bread does get thrown off the edge, it's no longer wasted. I can recover it here, pick it back up, and then toss it to the villagers so they can continue using that to make more babies. I think I have recovered about 3 stacks worth of bread so far since I installed that. Yeah, they were wasting a lot of food. Alright guys, so now the time is here. We have 11 villagers instead of 12. One of them died. It's not perfect, but it's better. We have 11 villagers ready to go to become masons with a stone cutter here. So this is something that I haven't messed with before. So it looks like we can sell clay for emeralds, or we can buy bricks with emeralds. So this is probably what I want to do, although it looks like we are limited. Oh, no. It was just a stack, the amount that I purchased. I couldn't buy any more. Okay, so we're going to level this guy up, and it should get a 33% chance for a specific type of, oh my goodness, what was it that I was looking for? The different, oh no, it's on Journeyman, so it's not even this one, it's the next one. Oh, I can sell him stone for emeralds, look at that. How much? Well, that's not bad at all, actually. All right, I'm going to buy some of this because I don't have any more stone to sell. Oop. Think the tracks and the slab are keeping the bad guys outside. That's fine. Yeah, here we go. So polished granite we can buy for emeralds now, which is pretty cool. But you can't like take the polish and then get like the regular granite. Unfortunately, there's no way to do that. But it looks like we can sell granite for an emerald. Well, that's pretty cool. I like that. So I wonder if we can get one to sell diorite for an emerald too. Just get rid of like those extra resources we don't necessarily need. Anyway. So now that we know about this, let's buy some of these. All right. I'll switch over to my pick so I can repair that as I'm doing this. So we get some brown glazed terracotta and magenta terracotta. Interesting. I like it. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I can't sell this back, I don't think either. All right, let's go ahead and buy... I mean, I guess I'll buy some of this stuff. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to use it, but it's now an option for us. All right. Yeah, and there we go. The quartz pillar and the block of quartz. So this is really cool. We can turn stone, right? 1 stone for an emerald, stone into quartz. That's really cool. I like that. So this is a pretty good villager. We can buy brick. We can sell clay balls. We can turn 1 clay into 10 brick, right? So that's really good too. So these masons are really, really awesome. I'm not sure how many of these we need. Probably I should make a bunch of them just so we have them. But yeah, that's something that we'll have to look at. Like how many in total. Librarians are going to be the real pain coming up though. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and make a bunch of these guys and put them into our trading hall and we'll continue on. All right, so I went ahead and I removed the rail that was going up this side and I have closed off the top portion, right? So there's no way to get back up in there, at least through rails. So we have our Fletchers all the way down this way. And at the very end over here, I didn't put up the sign yet, but we have 3 masons. We also have these 12 additional spots right here. And I think we will probably put masons in there. But for right now, we're going to move on from the mason and we're going to look at the librarians. This is the one that's going to take a long time. It's very RNG based. So let's get started together. There's a lot of different enchantments that I want. And this is going to be pretty easy to do. So essentially we place down the lectern and it has the enchantment we want or it doesn't, right? And we want a whole bunch of different ones. So that one's got lure too. We're looking for the highest end of every single type of enchantment. Silk Touch only has one, so that'll be our very first villager. I will have to give myself some books. I have to do one trade with the librarian so they keep their trade. If I had paper too, I could do that, but I don't. So I need to go get myself some books. All right, books acquired. So I should be able to do this one trade, right? So we ended up getting one Silk Touch book, but all we gotta do is just trade once, and then this librarian will keep its current trades available. So we can get rid of this now. The thing that I need to make sure is that these rails are set up correctly. So the villager comes out here, goes up here, and I'll go on to this side of this half of the trading hall, which we don't have any villagers in here. And I think everything should be in place. So we should be able to just send the villager and get our first librarian. We'll do that one. Okay, and our Silk Touch librarian is now in place, and I'll give it back a lectern. There it goes, got the green particles, everything's happy. Awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna try and get a few of these going, get them all labeled up so we know which villager is which, and we'll be back. So it looks like this librarian here is looking at this workstation here, and I don't think this guy claimed it. When I put our infinity villager in here, it was past working hours, so when I place this down, it didn't get green particles. But this guy seems awfully interested in this one. So I think the way to fix this, since this guy hasn't claimed this, and this guy's looking at it, well, it looks like he just got green particles that time. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that as well. We'll just get rid of both of these. Okay, and I'll just wait until morning. Well, it looks like it's nighttime, so I will just sleep. Yeah, I'll sleep now. We'll wait till morning, and yeah, we'll place it down one at a time. Now, it is possible that one villager will look at the other villager's workstation, and to fix that, what you can do is just block off the villager completely so they can't pathfind and they won't see the other workstation. So I place this down now. Does that guy see it? I'm not sure what this guy's looking at, but he did not get green particles, so that's kind of interesting. I think you have to wait until working hours when they can claim a workstation before they get the green ones. Anyway, I'll play around with this a little bit more so I can understand what's fully going on here, and then we'll continue on, guys. But one of the benefits of having these librarians is I have unlimited access to books now. I don't actually have to turn sugarcane into them. We can buy 3 bookshelves for 1 emerald, which is awesome. So our current stock of villagers, we have Silk Touch, Aqua Affinity, Infinity, Looting 3, Fire Aspect 2, Depth Strider 3, Curse of Binding, and Sweeping Edge. So getting these first few villagers, not so difficult. There is still quite a bit of enchantments we have left to fill up this, and we're going to fill up most of this entire section here with these enchantments. But once we start getting towards the end, and we're trying to get those last 2 or 3 specific enchants, yeah, it's going to be quite the pain in order for us to get every single villager. But the best part about the librarians is you can just place down the lectern, break it, and try again. Unlike some of these other villagers, like these the Fletchers, for instance, where you had to do all the trading to get through all the first things to find out if it had the arrow that you wanted or not. Yeah, we don't have to do that, and then we don't have to dispose of the villager. We can simply just place and break the lectern. It's so much easier, but it is going to take a lot of grind to get all of those villagers. But that's fine. That's exactly what this project is all about, is to be able to collect every single different enchantment that we can get. And I'm going to be very pleased when this is all done. But guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Yeah, I think probably next episode I'm going to be looking at doing a little bit of building. Like I said, we got that space between our sheep farm and our trading hall here that needs to be filled out. Probably look at getting another farm set up over there, some road action. I was gonna do that this episode, but there was still so much left to do here. But I think a lot of the villager trading and grind, I can do that off camera. Yeah, I can do it off camera or on live stream, something like that. But anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.